We always thought Chinese cars were cheap, right? Like some plastic knockoff toy you'd find in the back of a dollar store. We spent years laughing at their weird designs and copy-paste styling. But today, the laughing has stopped. Actually, I think the rest of the world is starting to sweat. Because while we were making jokes, they were building the future. I'm talking about cars that don't just drive, they float on water. Cars that come with drones on the roof, cars with marble floors, kitchens in the trunk, and technology that makes a brand new Tesla look like a Nokia brick from 2005. This is Wheel Factor, and today I'm showing you the top 10 Chinese SUVs coming in 2026 that are about to humiliate the global car market. If you think I'm exaggerating, just wait until you see number 3. It literally defies the laws of physics. Let's get into it. Number 10. Huawei Aito M9. And listen to this carefully because I promise I am not making this up. This car doesn't just have headlights, it has a 100-inch projector built directly into the front fascia that can literally play movies on a wall while you camp. I'm not joking, you can park this thing, pull out a controller, and play Mario Kart using your car's headlights as the screen. The front end is clean, aerodynamic, and looks like a spaceship that decided to land in a wealthy suburb. But those smart interactive matrix LEDs are the real stars. They don't just light up the road, they project lane markers, turn signals, and yes, movies. From the side, this thing is massive, 5.2 meters long. That's bigger than a Mercedes GLS. The flush door handles pop out to greet you, the 22-inch aero wheels look like turbine blades, and the two-tone paint job gives off pure Maybach vibes for a fraction of the price. And the back? It's just as wild. The taillights can display text messages to the driver behind you. Imagine getting cut off and the car in front of you literally displays "sorry" or a thumbs up in LEDs. That is peak 2026. Under the hood, you've got options, but the one you want is the ERE, that's Extended Range EV. It drives on electric motors always, giving you that instant torque, but it has a 1.5-liter turbo generator to charge the battery on the fly. You get 490 horsepower, a 0 to 60 time of 4.9 seconds, and a combined range of over 870 miles. Bro, 870 miles! You could drive from New York to Chicago without stopping. My bladder would give out long before this battery does. Plus, with 800-volt charging, it charges faster than my phone. But the interior is where this car genuinely humiliates American luxury. Welcome to the one-glass triple-screen dashboard, a 12-inch cluster, a 16-inch center, and another 16-inch just for the passenger. But that's not even the crazy part. There's a 32-inch roll-down cinema screen for the rear passengers. It literally descends from the roof like you're in a private jet. I'm sitting here watching Netflix on a massive cinema screen while the front passenger seat folds flat into a zero-gravity queen lounge chair. It's heated, ventilated, and massaging. So how much for the rolling movie theater? In China, this starts at roughly $65,000. 65 for a car that beats a $120,000 GLS in tech. I'm already angry. Be honest, would you take this Aito M9 over a BMW X7? But wait, number 10 is just the warm-up. Number 9 is coming up. And let's just say it has a feature that makes this cinema screen look like a Game Boy. Don't blink. At number 9, we have the Ghost, the Lynk & Co 900. This is the flagship we've been hearing rumors about for years, and it's finally real. The hook here isn't just the design, it's the fact that this family hauler packs 845 horsepower. That is more power than a Lamborghini Urus Performante, in a car that you can take to soccer practice. It feels illegal to have this much power in something that looks this sophisticated. Visually, this thing is a predator. The front end features what they call the next day design language. The daytime lighting runs look like Wolverine's claws slashing through the hood. The grille is active, it actually breathes, opening up when the engine needs air and closing tight for aerodynamics on the highway. It's aggressive, distinct, and looks nothing like the boring, soap bar-shaped EVs we're used to seeing in the States. From the side, it sits on the massive SPA Evo platform, stretching over 5.2 meters. But look at the C-pillar. spectacular. It's got this floating roof design that makes the whole car look like it's leaning forward, ready to attack. Under the hood, this is a performance hybrid monster. You get a 2-liter turbo engine paired with 3 high-performance electric motors. The result? 845 horsepower and over 900 newton meters of torque. You hit the gas and this 5,000-pound building moves like a cheetah, hitting 60 in under 4 seconds. And because it sits on a dual-chamber air suspension, it doesn't just drive, it glides. It's basically a Volvo underneath, since Geely owns both. So if you crash this, the wall is probably going to apologize to you. Inside, it's not a car, it's a lounge. The dashboard floats with no transmission tunnel, leaving huge open space. But the party trick is the seats. The front seats can rotate 180 degrees to face the back when you're parked. You can literally have a face-to-face family meeting or play cards while waiting for your kids. The materials are insane too. Recycled fishing nets mixed with Nappa leather. It sounds gross, but it feels softer than anything in my Tesla. Because there is no drive shaft tunnel, the floor is completely flat, meaning you have massive headroom and legroom. So you'd expect to pay $150,000 for Urus power, right? Try $75,000. Half the price, double the tech. It makes me want to scream. Is 845 horsepower too much for a family SUV, or is it just enough? Let me know in the comments. Number 8, the NIO ES8. Forget charging. Seriously, forget it. You pull this car into a station and 3 minutes later, you leave with a 100% full battery. It's magic. But that's old news for NIO. The new shocker is the executive console and the battery range that basically makes gas obsolete. Visually, this is the most elegant car on the list. The front uses a shark nose design that cuts through the air. But look above the windshield. Those 3 bumps? That's the Watchtower sensor layout. It houses a high-definition LiDAR and cameras that see 500 meters down the road. It looks like a car wearing a VR headset, and it's cool as hell. The sides are seamless, no door handles, not even pop-out ones. You just press a smart button and the doors motor open for you. And the back, the IllumiBlade taillight is one solid piece of crystal clear red glass that looks like a laser beam cutting through the dark. Under the floor, you have serious power. Dual motors pushing 640 horsepower and hitting 60 in just 4.1 seconds. But the battery is the headline. You can spec this with a massive 150 kilowatt hour solid-state battery. The range? Over 900 kilometers. That is 560 miles on a single charge. And if you somehow run low, you don't wait for a charger, you swap the entire battery pack faster than you can fill a gas tank. Why don't we have this in the US yet? It drives me crazy. Inside, this specific model is the executive version, and it is a private jet on wheels. You don't get a back bench, you get 2 captain's chairs separated by a massive executive console. And yes, there's a smart fridge built into it. But you don't open it with your hands like a peasant. You say, "Hey Nomi, open the fridge," and the door motors open to reveal your chilled drinks. Nomi, by the way, is the little robot head on the dashboard. It turns to look at you when you speak, it smiles, it waves. It's cute, slightly creepy, but mostly awesome. The front passenger seat features lounge mode, where a foot extends and the back reclines 160 degrees. You're basically laying in a bed while the car drives itself using that Watchtower LiDAR. The infit and finish here is better than a Tesla, better than a BMW, and maybe even better than an Audi. The price for all this future tech? The top trim starts around $80,000. That is Model X money, but the interior quality is on another planet. So be honest, would you pay for a car that swaps its own battery, or do you prefer plugging in? Okay, car number 7 is smaller, faster, and has a feature called the Stargate. Yes, like the sci-fi movie. You have to see it to believe it. Number 7. The Zeekr 7X. Now, people keep calling this the mainstream SUV of the bunch, but honestly, there is absolutely nothing normal about this car. If this is mainstream in China, then we are living in the Stone Age. We are talking about a family hauler that hits 60 in 3.8 seconds and charges its battery faster than you can order a coffee. Visually, the first thing that hits you is the face. It features the Stargate light panel. This isn't just a headlight, it's a 90-inch interactive canvas stretching across the entire front bumper. It has over 1,700 LEDs, and you can customize it. You can literally draw patterns on the infotainment screen inside, and they appear on the outside of the car in real time. You can display "hello" to pedestrians or draw emojis to people walking by. It is completely unnecessary, and I absolutely love it. From the side, it's incredibly sleek. They've deleted the window molding entirely, using a hidden water-cut seal so the glass meets the metal perfectly flush. It looks like it was carved from a single block of steel. The mirrors are frameless, the door handles are hidden, and the wiper is tucked inside the rear spoiler to keep the line smooth. It's clean, it's futuristic, and it makes a Tesla Model Y look like an unfinished prototype. But the real magic is the electricity. The 7X sits on an 800-volt architecture with 5.5C charging speeds. What does that mean in English? It means you can charge from 10% to 80% in just 10.5 minutes. 10 minutes! I can't even finish a Starbucks latte that fast. It eats electricity faster than any car currently on the US market, and with 636 horsepower, it launches with a ferocity that will make your kids drop their iPads. Inside, the tech just keeps coming. The 16-inch OLED screen swivels to face the driver or the passenger. But here is the kicker. It supports a gaming controller. You can play actual console-quality games while you wait for those 10 minutes of charging. The rear seats are heated, ventilated, and have electric sunshades that automatically close when the car thinks you are falling asleep. And for safety, it has safety armor mode. If the car detects a side impact is about to happen, it instantly inflates the seat bolsters to shove you away from the door before the crash even occurs. Now, for the Dagger, the price. This car starts at roughly $35,000 in China. $35,000. For that money, we get a base model Chevy Equinox with cloth seats. They get a spaceship that draws pictures and does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It makes you want to cry, doesn't it? Number 6 is the Rox 01, also known as the Poleston's 01, and this is the ultimate bug-out vehicle. If the world ends tomorrow, this is the car I want to be in. Why? Because the rear swing gate opens up to reveal a fully integrated camping kitchen. I am not exaggerating. You pop the trunk, fold down a panel, and you have an induction stove, a water dispenser, and customized storage for your utensils and bowls. You can literally cook a 5-star meal off the back of your car while parked by a lake. It turns every road trip into a glamping experience. Visually, this thing is a brute. It was designed by Pininfarina. Yes, the same Italian legends who designed Ferraris. But this doesn't look like a supercar, it looks like a Land Rover Defender had a baby with a Lexus GX. It's boxy, it's rugged, and it screams toughness. The H-shaped headlights give it a wide planted stance, and the spare tire carrier on the back completes the off-road look. But the coolest exterior feature is hidden in the roof rails. It has a built-in 270-degree awning that you can set up in minutes. It wraps around the side and rear of the car, giving you instant shelter from the sun or rain while you use your kitchen. Under the metal, the Rox 01 is an ERV, an extended range electric vehicle. That means it runs on electric motors for that smooth, silent power, but it carries a 1.5-liter gas generator to charge the battery when it gets low. You get a total range of 1,338 kilometers. That's over 830 miles. You could drive into the wilderness, camp for a week using the car's power, and still have enough juice to get home without ever seeing a gas station. It puts out 476 horsepower, which is plenty to pull this tank over rocks and through mud. It even has sensors that detect water depths so you don't accidentally drown your kitchen while crossing a river. And inside, they didn't sacrifice luxury for utility. The second row features what they call airline first-class seats. We're talking heated, ventilated, massaging captain's chairs with massive legroom. The roof is a gigantic pane of glass that makes you feel like you're sleeping under the stars. And because it's designed for camping, with the seats folded flat, you can fit a customized inflatable mattress perfectly in the back. It's not just a car, it's a mobile bedroom. And for the price of this Pininfarina designed, kitchen-equipped, apocalypse-ready off-roader, it starts at around $48,000. I paid more for my pickup truck, and it doesn't even make me a sandwich. It's embarrassing. But if you think this is luxurious, wait until you see car number 5. It is royalty. They call it the Chinese Rolls-Royce, and when you see the size of the grille, you will understand exactly why. It demands respect. Number 5. The Hongqi EHS9. If you have ever wondered what a Rolls-Royce Cullinan looks like from a parallel universe where everything is electric and costs a fraction of the price, this is it. This car is so fancy, so imposing, and so massive that it's literally used by diplomats and government officials. They call it the Chinese Rolls-Royce, and honestly, standing next to it, I feel underdressed. I feel like I should be wearing a tuxedo just to look at it. The first thing that smacks you in the face is the grille. They call it the waterfall. It's a massive vertical wall of chrome and LED lights that commands respect. If you see this thing fast approaching in your rearview mirror, you don't just change lanes, you apologize. Running down the center of the hood is a thin illuminated red line that stretches all the way from the grille to the interior. That is the signature Hongqi mark, which translates to red flag. It's a symbol of power, and on this car, it looks spectacular. From the side, this is 5.2 meters of pure slab-sided luxury. It has a presence that American SUVs just don't have anymore. The two-tone paint job, the massive 22-inch wheels, and the chrome accents make it look like a land yacht. And the rear design is inspired by ancient Chinese lanterns, featuring a light bar that is classy rather than just trying to be techy. It moves with dignity. It doesn't dart around, it floats. Under that massive hood is 120 kilowatt-hour battery sending power to dual motors. It creates 550 horsepower and hits 60 in roughly 4.8 seconds. That's fast for a building on wheels, but speed isn't the point here. The point is silence. The point is smoothness. It rides on air suspension that erases potholes so effectively you question if the road actually exists. It even has a steering wheel with captive sensors that know if you're holding it, so the driver assistance systems work seamlessly without you having to wiggle the wheel constantly. Inside, it's wall-to-wall screens. The entire dashboard, from the driver to the passenger, is glass. You have the gauge cluster, the navigation, the media, and the dedicated screen for the passenger. Below that is another screen for climate control. But it's the materials that sell it. We're talking real walnut wood, Nappa leather, and a crystal gear selector that looks like jewelry. Even the back seats are captain's chairs with their own screens embedded into the backs of the front seats. You don't get into this car, you board it. Now, looking at it, you'd guess it costs $300 grand, right? Maybe $400? Try $80,000 to start. Fully loaded, maybe $100. It looks like a Cullinan, it drives like a Bentley, but it costs the same as a well-equipped Chevy Tahoe. It's the biggest fake-it-till-you-make-it cheat code in the automotive world. Number 4 is the Avatar 11, and this is where the list takes a hard left turn into sci-fi concept car territory. This brand is a super team collaboration between Chang'an for manufacturing, CATL for batteries, and Huawei for the brains. The result is something that feels like an alien artifact. But the feature that stops people in their tracks is the halo screen. This is an LED display at the base of the windshield on the outside of the car. It can display animations to say hello, tell you it's charging, or even let pedestrians know it's safe to cross. It talks to the world. Visually, this car was designed by Nadeed Fahizadeh, the same guy who designed the BMW i8, and you can tell. The front end is completely smooth with razor-thin LED strips that look like a stormtrooper helmet designed by Apple. There is no grille, just pure aerodynamic sculpture. The side profile is what they call an SUV coupe, with smooth, organic shapes and flush handles. But the rear is the most controversial part. The rear window is incredibly small and upright. In fact, visibility out the back is so tight, they rely heavily on the digital streaming rearview mirror. It also features an active rear spoiler that pops up automatically at speed to keep you planted. It doesn't look like an SUV. It looks like a capsule from the year 2050. Power-wise, it's not just a pretty face. It packs dual motors pushing 578 horsepower and 650 newton meters of torque. It rockets from 0 to 60 in just 3.9 seconds. And because it uses CATL's latest battery tech and a 750-volt platform, it can charge at 240 kilowatts. That means you can add 200 kilometers of range in just 10 minutes. It's fast, efficient, and lethal. But the real weapon here is the safety tech. It uses Huawei's ADS system with 34 sensors, including 3 semi-solid-state LiDAR units. I've seen videos of this car driving itself through downtown Beijing traffic, scooters, pedestrians, chaos everywhere, and it handles it smoother than a human driver. It's basically uncrashable in daily driving scenarios. Inside, the cabin is dominated by the Vortex. This is a sculptural, cone-shaped element in the center of the dashboard that glows and pulses with the ambient lighting and voice assistant. It's like the car has a beating heart. The dash layout is symmetrical, with a 10-inch screen for the driver and a matching one hidden in the dashboard for the passenger, plus a massive central floating screen. You can spec this as a 4-seater, and the back becomes a private VIP pod with massive captain's chairs. The leather is Nappa, the roof is suede, and the vibe is pure cyberpunk luxury. The price for this fashion-forward, self-driving alien pod? It starts around $45,000. For a designer item on wheels that drives itself better than a Tesla FSD, it makes no sense. But hold on to your seats because we are entering the top 3. Car number 3 can do something no other SUV in history can do. It can float on water, it can turn 360 degrees in one spot, and it has a built-in drone on the roof. This is not a drill. Number 3, the BYD Yangwang U8L. This is the king of excess. If the other cars on this list are trying to be better versions of existing SUVs, this thing is trying to be a monster truck, a boat, and a tank all at once. The headline features are so stupidly insane that I have to repeat them to make sure I'm not dreaming. First, the tank turn. Because it has 4 independent motors, this massive 3-ton SUV can spin in a perfect 360-degree circle on pavement. You can literally do donuts in a parking spot without moving forward an inch. But that's not even the wildest part. This car has emergency float mode. If you accidentally drive into a deep lake or a flood, the car automatically seals the cabin, shuts the windows, opens the sunroof for an escape route, and floats. It can stay afloat for 30 minutes and actually drive across the water at 1.8 miles per hour by spinning its wheels like propellers. Bro, what? A G-Wagon sinks like a brick. This thing turns into a boat. Visually, the U8L is a fortress. This L version is the long wheelbase flagship, stretching nearly 5.5 meters. The front grille is called the Interstellar design, looking like a galaxy of diamonds exploding outward. It's huge, flashy, and flanked by massive C-shaped headlights. The wheel arches are boxy and house massive 22-inch forged wheels. On the D-pillar, there are LED light bars that show you the battery charge level from the outside. And hanging off the back is a gigantic octagonal spare tire cover. It looks like it could smash through a brick wall without scratching the paint. Powering this beast is BYD's E4 platform. That means 1 motor for every wheel. Total output? 1,200 horsepower. It launches this mountain of metal from 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. It defies physics. And it rides on the D-Sus-P hydraulic suspension system. This isn't just air ride, it's hydraulic. It can lift the car up by 6 inches in seconds, keep the body perfectly flat in corners, and even allow the car to drive on 3 wheels if a tire blows. It is engineering witchcraft. Inside, it is pure opulence. You're surrounded by Nappa leather, African sapelli wood, and 5 different screens in the front row alone. But the coolest option is on the roof. You can spec this with a built-in DJI drone dock. You press a button on the screen, the roof opens, and a drone launches into the air. It can follow the car automatically, film your off-road adventures in 4K, and then land back in the dock and charge itself while you drive. You have your own personal camera crew flying above you. The price? This is the most expensive car on the list, coming in around $150,000. But think about it.
A G-Wagon is 200K and it can't tank turn, it can't float, and it definitely doesn't have a drone living on the roof. Be real, would you actually trust your $150,000 car to float in a lake? I don't know if I would, but I want to try it. Number 2. The Zeekr 9X. We talked about the 7X earlier. This is the big daddy, the flagship, the end boss of electric SUVs. If the 7X is a fighter jet, the 9X is the entire aircraft carrier. The headline isn't just luxury, it's violence. This thing packs over 1,300 horsepower. That is not a typo. It is designed to end the gas versus EV debate forever by simply crushing everything else on the road. Visually, this thing is terrifying. It uses an evolved version of the Stargate light panel, but it's wider, brighter, and more intimidating. It doesn't look like a car, it looks like a government building on wheels. Integrated seamlessly into the roofline are 4 separate LiDAR units. Most cars have 1. This has 4. It sees the world in higher definition than you do. The doors? Fully powered smart doors that sense your approach and swing open automatically, then close with a soft thud once you're inside. And those wheels are massive 23-inch forged alloys that look like they could grind rocks into dust. Under the metal, it rides on the CEAS Super platform. It uses a quad-motor layout to deliver that 1,300 horsepower, launching this 3-ton beast from 0 to 60 in the low 3-second range. But the real magic here is the suspension. It uses an active electromagnetic system that reads the road 50 feet ahead and adjusts the dampers before you hit a bump. You could drive over a speed bump at 40 miles per hour and not spill your coffee. It deletes the road surface. Inside, Zeekr has created what they call the Cloud Lounge. The seats use a proprietary foam formula that feels like sitting on a marshmallow that supports your spine. The second row isn't just seats, it's a living room. You can spec a privacy glass partition that rises up to separate the driver from the back, turning the rear cabin into a soundproof isolation pod. The sound system? A 3,800-watt behemoth with 30 speakers, including speakers inside the headrest and the ceiling. And safety? It features the Hahan Safety Armor, which is verified to withstand side impacts at over 100 kilometers per hour. It's a tank wrapped in velvet. Now the price, rumors peg this international spec at around $110,000, which sounds like a lot until you realize it targets the $300,000 ultra-luxury market. So the question is, Zeekr 9X or a Range Rover autobiography?
Here it is, the king of 2026, the Voyah Taishan 9L. Why is this number 1? Because it fixes the single biggest problem with electric vehicles, range anxiety. This massive luxury beast carries a 65 kilowatt-hour battery. That is a full-sized EV battery, plus a gas generator under the hood. The result? A total driving range of over 1,400 kilometers. That is nearly 900 miles. You can drive this thing as a pure EV every single day for your commute, and then drive across the country on the weekend without ever stopping to charge. It is the ultimate have your cake and eat it too machine. Visually, it is majestic. The front grille is inspired by the Kunpeng, a mythical Chinese bird, and it features a vast illuminated wing design that makes a Cadillac Escalade look cheap and plastic. It's 5.23 meters long, sitting on multi-spoke pie plate wheels that look like polished mirrors. The chrome trim around the windows isn't just shiny, it's backlit, glowing softly at night. And the rear taillights are designed to look like calligraphy strokes. It doesn't look like a robot, it looks like an emperor. Under the skin, it packs over 800 horsepower combined. It uses 5C fast charging, so even if you do plug in, the battery fills up in 10 minutes. But the real flex is the safety tech. It runs on Huawei ADS 4.0 with next-generation LiDAR that can see through fog and heavy rain better than the human eye. It is quite possibly the safest vehicle on the road. But the interior? This is the penthouse. Spanning the entire dashboard is a 1.4-meter triple screen. It's one seamless piece of glass. But look down. The floor is covered in what looks like marble. It's a composite material, but it looks and feels like you're standing in a luxury hotel lobby.
The seats use sensors to measure your heart rate and stress levels. If the car senses you are stressed in traffic, it automatically changes the ambient lighting to a calming blue, puts on soft jazz, and activates a specific massage pattern to calm you down. It also has a fragrance system that uses AI to dispense 3 different scents depending on your mood. And now, the price. For the ultimate do-it-all SUV, for the marble floors, the 900-mile range, the AI massage, and the 800 horsepower, it starts at roughly $60,000. I'm done. I'm officially done. 60 grand. We pay that much for a Ford Explorer. They get this. Game over. All right, that was the top 10. 10 Chinese SUVs that just made the entire Western car industry look like it's napping. We saw cars that float, cars with cinemas, cars with kitchens, and cars that cost 35 grand but feel like 100. I'm honestly conflicted. Part of me is jealous, and part of me is just hyped that cars are getting this cool again. But I need to know your pick. Are you taking the Yangwang U8 because you want to float across a lake? Are you grabbing the Zeekr 7X for that insane value? Or are you Team Voya for the marble floors? Drop your number 1 pick in the comments below. I read all of them, and I want to see which one wins. Smash that like button if your jaw dropped at least once. I know it did for the floating car. Subscribe and ring the bell because next week we're looking at Chinese supercars that are beating Ferrari. You do not want to miss that.